Hello my gorgeous people, this is a quite special little reading that I'm going to do for every single sign of the zodiac. In particular, it's going to be quite important when it comes to paying attention to things that we should be paying attention to right now, this very moment in time, in particular when it comes to the rest of this year. So this is actually pretty much so to do with the actual energy blockages that you could have, that you may have when it comes to particular things in your life. But these energetic blockages that I'm talking about are quite heavy, and they are pretty much so a lot to do with slowing us down. So it's important for us to realize this and to pay attention to this. So, and particularly now when it comes to us being already in the actual month of June 2021, this is all pretty much so to do with the actual energy blockages, with certain parts of your life, with specific parts of your life where you could have an energy blockage, but you may not be aware of it. But this is an important part of your life that most certainly you should be paying attention to it. As earlier you realize this, the better it's actually going to be. So this is pretty much so a lot to do with the rest of the year 2021. The earlier you realize these certain blockages, energy blockages that you have, then you know, the sooner you're actually going to release them. And once that happens, then you know, the energy is just going to start flowing much more freely. So this is going to be almost instantly, like you're going to be able to notice this almost instantly, because it is going to influence you and impact you in such a way, you know, where you just suddenly feel like a really nice bursts of energy. But that reflects normally on our intuition as well, but also when it comes to like a feeling quite creative, which is really important in this world, which is really important in this life. So as soon as you realize which kind of blockages you should actually pay attention to it, that's actually better. So as I said, this is pretty much so to do with the rest of the whole year. I am going to start with my gorgeous and with my ever so precious, my beautiful Aries, my gorgeous Aries. This is pretty much so to do with your home. Okay, so you need to kind of focus on your home as much as you possibly can, because it is like to do with a certain change. You need to pay attention to your environment. You need to pay attention to your immediate environment and things around you, because something needs a change. You need to change something, and also you need to start doing things slightly differently. And when I say that you need to like pay attention to your immediate environment, most certainly this is pretty much so to do like with a certain changes, because when you make a tiny little change within your immediate environment, this is going to reflect on you absolutely beautifully, because almost immediately it's going to influence and impact your own energy. So you could basically just like kind of like maybe just paint something, paint the wall, or just kind of like change certain things, you know, in your home, in your immediate environment, like move the table around a little bit. I know it sounds a bit silly, but you know, this is all about like working against the rather stale energy that we sometimes, you know, it can accumulate over the time and we may not even notice it. But what this stale energy is actually doing is just slowing us down a little bit. It's slowing us down a little bit. So this is why this is so important. Let me just make this straight, my gorgeous Aries, my beautiful Aries. One little change within your immediate environment is going to make the whole lot of difference, because very soon after that, I'm not saying that almost immediately you're going to be la la la, you know, but no, I'm just saying that very soon after that, because this is a very important point, very important step that you will make, and very soon after that you are actually going to become aware of a very important aspect of your life that you need to kind of cut out, that you need to kind of abandon. But this is going to come to you very naturally, and it's going to happen at the right moment, at the right time. So this is why I want you to understand, I need you to understand the impact, an important impact, spiritual impact you're actually going to make just by kind of making a certain little change around you in your immediate environment. And also this can be at your home, you know, or it can be like it in your working place if you spend a lot of time at your work. It really depends, but this is going to start a very important progress, very important process in your life. As I said, very soon after that, you're going to become aware of things that you weren't aware of when it comes to like a certain aspect of your life slowly coming to an end. So you just kind of like sometimes need a little bit of push when it comes to realizing what exactly this is. And this is what I need you to understand, how important this actually is, because it's going to lead towards the actual discontinuance of the certain effort which just purely and naturally came to an end. And this is the way they will be actually revealed to you. So I'm just going to shuffle this tarot cards, my gorgeous Aries, and I'm just going to see also what is your tarot card going to be, and which is going to be quite relevant in between now and the end of the year 2021. Knight of Wands. I mean, this is absolutely brilliant. What you need to remember, that there is, you know, more above everything else, there is the certain aspect of yourself, the first certain part of yourself, it's actually not there, it's missing. It is like an important part of your path that you have been focusing on and you wanted to achieve, but then you've just kind of left it in the past. So something from the past is about to return, and this is also an important part that you should be paying attention to, because you will see that your mind in between now and the end of this year, your mind is actually going to be pretty much so like going back to the certain part of your past. There is going to be something very important for you to investigate when it comes to that, but at the same time you need to know that this is just pretty much so going to be connected to the teamwork in such a way where you are actually going to be doing things and making things that are going to be much more important than you could possibly imagine, not only for you but for the important people in your life, for the people who mean to you a lot and things like that. So you will see how everything is beautifully connected. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous and my ever so precious, my beautiful Taurini, my gorgeous Taurus. You know, my lord, my lord, my lord, where do you have the energy blockage? What do you need to pay attention to that you may not be aware of as such, because it's draining your energy like a big mama, and you don't want this to go on like this, because sometimes, you know, we can have the energy drainage and it can drain us and we can almost like get used to it, you know, but once it goes, it flips over. When it flips over, then we just see the other side and we are able to connect to our life so much easier. And that in itself is fantastic, because it makes a major huge impact on our life when it comes to our planning, when it comes to our energy in general, and when it comes to us just perking up a little bit. So you most certainly are kind of like a feeling about a certain justice. Why do you feel about the justice? There is something that is like kind of like creating a like kind of blockage of energy, and it's pretty much so to do with a certain justice. Maybe you are kind of not happy with something, or maybe you're not satisfied with something. There is a very important element and part of your life that is really sticking out when it comes to you wanting a certain justice, but this is pretty much so to do with your own path, and this is pretty much so to do with your own journey. This is important because as soon as you kind of get things going, then at the same time you need to remember exactly who you are, what would you like to achieve in your life. You need to pay attention to the actual things that make you feel happy, but you need to also pay attention to those things that make you feel really down and that make you feel really sad, because this is pretty much so to do with a certain justice. So what does this mean when I tell you that you need to pay attention to justice? My gorgeous Taurinis, my beautiful Taurus, it actually means that, you know, karmically you also at the same time you need to understand your own power. You need to understand your own essence. You're powerful, you're beautiful, you're significant, you're very courageous, grudges, you know, you're very like you're very energetic in so many different ways, and you don't want this energy to work against you. So you don't want to hold any grudges. In order to kind of take this on the next level, you just need to do things that make you feel really great, that make you feel really happy, but at the same time you need to see kind of why do you feel like that there was some kind of a justice, that it's not kind of working correctly, or it's like somebody has done something to you, or maybe perhaps, you know, it's just to do with a certain grudges. You know, this is very important for you to understand, because you need to see kind of like what do you need to kind of release. This is pretty much so to do with you releasing things, the negativity that creates a fear, and that fear is creating like a maybe just a little bit of negativity and paranoia. And this is why it's just so important to realize how powerful you are, and to focus on certain things when it comes to your own rebirth, basically, because almost immediately you are just, what you're gonna do, my gorgeous Taurine, is almost immediately you are kind of want to make a certain changes around your life. You will want to kind of make certain changes, but one particular change is going to be really, really big, because you will just want to move on with your life. And this is great, because this moving on, if you kind of didn't pay attention to this justice, you know, you just must understand your own essence, and this is how you're gonna go over, how you're gonna go through this justice, because the best way out is actually to go through. And in order for you to go through, my gorgeous Taurinis, you just need to remember your own essence, and you just need to kind of get rid of certain grudges or the negativity that you could be kind of holding against something or against somebody else. This is the time to pay attention to your own inspiration, and it's very important, because you're going to release so much. And then a few days later, you know, it's just about you realizing what this is. It's just, I want to repeat this so it's really kind of clear. It's pretty much so to do with the part of your life that created so much fear and so much negativity and so much paranoia. And this is the justice that I'm talking about, you see, because it's just kind of like put like a more negativity and more pressure on your life. The way out of it, it's actually just to pay attention to things that are making you feel great, to things that are bringing you inspiration, because almost like a few days later, what is actually going to happen, you're going to make a huge, massive turn, in particular when it comes to you wanting to get more out of life. And this is great, this is brilliant, because you are going to find yourself on the spiritual quest. You're going to find yourself on a spiritual quest, and you will want more out of life. And that's brilliant, that's fantastic. That's why we are here for on this earth, just to learn, to do things, you know, to work and to try to achieve as much as we can on our own path. But also there are things that are kind of sticking out and creating blockage, you know, it's just going to be keep on repeating until we go over, because this is just like a little challenge part of life that you're actually challenging part of life that you're actually going to have. So it's pretty much so to do with you a few days later, like almost like moving on with your life. But it's brilliant, because you're going to find yourself on a really wonderful spiritual quest indeed. So now I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards, my gorgeous Taurinis, and I'm going to see what is going to be a tarot card. Okay, so it's pretty much so Six of Coins. I mean, this is fantastic, because, you know, karmically, this is a very strong time for you. And you know, the more you can do around you would be fantastic. The more you can focus and see who needs like a little bit of help and who needs like a little bit of energy, it would be absolutely fantastic, because at the same time, you know, there are certain issues that are going to be going on, my gorgeous Taurinis, you know, in between now and the end of the year. And I've seen this before when it comes to you, and your energy is going to be needed, your input is going to be needed. And every single time when you help someone, every single time when you kind of put your input into something, this is going to come back to you like a 10 times more powerful. And at the same time, you see here, my gorgeous Taurinis, it's just about you pretty much so taking something very important off your life, from your life, on the whole next level. But this is very personal to you, and it's very specific, and it's something that you love doing, and something that you want to take on the next level, something that you're rather unique about. But then again, it's literally going to change your life. It's going to have a huge, massive impact in your life. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Gemini, my gorgeous Gemini, you know, where you could have a blockage, you know, and the negativity that you're not aware of. You know, my babies, you're already going through your own transition. This is very important, and it's very personal, and it's to do with your own with your own personal rebirth, really. And this is to do with the spiritual rebirth that I'm talking about. So you might have noticed that as of lately you kind of perked up a little bit, and as of lately you might have noticed that you felt something different when it comes to your life, and when it comes to your planning, when it comes to your direction, when it comes to like your inspiration. There is something very much so slowly coming back in your life. And I'm saying that most likely you've noticed it because, you know, just lately, as of lately, you kind of started to plan pretty much so, and you started be inspired again with life. And this is absolutely brilliant. So what does that mean? It means for you, my gorgeous Gemini, that you just, the sooner you realize the specific situation that you need to kind of like really kind of adjust. You need to make an important adjustment when it comes to your life, but this adjustment is only going to happen when you're allowed to see the specific situation from a different angle, like a bit of an upside down situation. And this is exactly what is going to happen. You are going to be able to see your personal situation purely because you're going through your own rebirth from a completely different angle. And this in itself, it's absolutely brilliant, because that it's going to help you realize what exact sacrifice you need to make. So this, my gorgeous Gemini, when it comes to you, it's pretty much so about the actual sacrifice that you need to make in order to move on with your life. The sooner you make this sacrifice, the better it's going to be. The sooner you realize this, the happier you're going to be. The sooner you kind of become aware of this, you know, the quicker the things are going to start moving on for you. And at the same time, you just need to kind of like be completely numb when it comes to like people are kind of like really kind of like trying to irritate you, or when it comes to you feeling like a little bit sensitive around a certain people. So this is something that you just kind of have to go around somehow. The only thing that I want to say to you is just like to not to bite back, basically, or not to go low, you know, in order to kind of win over this. Every single time you try to come on top, you try to rise spiritually, energetically, and the only way to rise is to respond to these people who are like kind of winding you up or making you feel a little bit negative around you. It's just basically to kind of like try to get things to go over your head, but most certainly just try to rise up and just respond in a completely different way. So if somebody tries to wind you up, you just smile and you just move on, you know, and you will see that there is a very important spiritual message that you are going to have. So this is something that I really would need you to kind of pay attention to as well, my gorgeous Gemini. So now I'm just going to see what is going to be a tarot card. And this tarot card is pretty much so to do in between now and the end of the year 2021. My gosh, surprise, surprise. Look what it just came, basically. 5 of Swords, you see. I'm sorry, my gorgeous Gemini, but it looks like that you are going to be challenged a little bit. You know, and this challenge is not going to come to you just out of the blue. It's pretty much so to do with the people in your life, and it's also pretty much so to do with the people and the certain situations in your life that are not going to surprise you. And if I prepare you like this, then you make the most of it, you know. It's just like basically karmically, you're gonna have a big mama reward when it comes to this karmically. So each time you feel like a little bit wind up, you know, I know it sounds weird, I know it sounds bizarre, but hey, the life is, isn't it? You know, and also at the same time, it's pretty much so about communication, my gorgeous Gemini, and also it's about your input. You need to just kind of get yourself back in the game, you know. You need to get yourself back within the circle of things, and you need to understand how important and how unique and how special you are. Because don't worry about these people trying to wind you up and things like that. You are magical. You have a magical magical abilities, you have a magical touch, you're like quite mesmerizing most of the time to people, and this is your weapon, this is your power, my gorgeous Gemini, you know. So this is why I just need you to understand that the teamwork is going to be very important. Whatever you do, my gorgeous Gemini, the coco wants to go out. Whatever you want to do, my gorgeous Gemini, I need you to know that the teamwork is very, very important in between now and the end of the year, okay? And it's just also really important to try to keep certain things to yourself as well. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Cancerini. My gorgeous Cancer, I love you so much, you know, but there are two very important possibilities and abilities, possibilities pretty much so, that you should be paying attention to right now, and they are creating the certain blockage, and they are creating the blockage in such a way where you are simply not aware of it. Not as much not aware of it, but not aware of its power. So there are two important abilities, two important possibilities that I just kind of need from you to kind of dig in a little bit deeper and realize them. And this is also part of your journey, and it's also part of your karma. These two possibilities are going to literally change not only like now the rest of the year from June until the end of the year, but it's literally going to change your life, because it is just you about making a very smart, very intelligent, very clever, and very, very powerful move. This is pretty much so to do with you, my lord, paying attention to your own intuition, because at the same time, sometimes in this life, we just have to work a little bit harder. We just have to dig a little bit deeper in order to get what we want to get, in order to kind of get what we need to get, in particular when it comes to our own spiritual reward, because you are going to find yourself on the path where you're going to be kind of like indecisive a little bit, but then at the same time, two things that you're going to be indecisive about are these absolute things that I'm talking about when it comes to two important possibilities. And I will repeat that this is creating a blockage. You know why? Because it's the part of your spiritual journey, it's the part of who you are, but it's also going to be playing an important role later on, and an important role right now. It's to do with an adjustment, but it's also to do with an important returning to a very specific part of your life where you felt something so strong that you don't feel like anymore, and now this is going to return, and it's going to kind of like really give you, you're going to have a certain signs before this, you know, you're going to have a certain premonitions before this happen, my gorgeous Cancerini. So premonitions before what happens? Premonitions before these two possibilities, and the signs about these two possibilities that I'm talking about. And it's your job, it's your role to kind of find out this by yourself, because it's all part of your own spiritual journey. The sooner you become aware of it, the quicker you are going to start with like a really important a continuation in your life, because this is going to bring an important moment and an important plan and an important situation that you're going to be facing. But this is pretty much so to do with the future and the future planning. You're just going to get things going. Okay, so now your tarot card of the week, my gorgeous Cancerini, not of the week, sorry, your tarot card, this tarot card is going to be quite relevant in between now and the end of the year. So you see, this is all to do with this particular blockage that I'm talking about, that you should be paying attention to. And this tarot card is pretty much so connected to this, but also what is going to be important to you in between now and the end of the year. You see, very, very an incredible time. You also need to understand that there is a specific part of your yourself that you left in the past, you know, that it's also about a return, and you will see how much you were actually missing this. Oh my God, you just have to trust yourself, you have to trust your intuition, and you are going to be absolutely fine. So every single time when you feel negative, and every single time when you feel a kind of little bit dark, like that brings like all sorts of like a questions within us, you know. Oh, shall I do this? Shall I? No, I'm not too sure. No, baby, no. What you need to do is you need to trust your intuition, because your intuition is going to be your guiding light, and your guiding light is not going to lead you astray. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Leo. My gorgeous Leonis, you know what is creating a blockage? I think you're like kind of slowing yourself down a little bit. Now it's time for action. Now it's time to go through. Now it's time to step forward. Now it's time to make the next step. But there is a particular step that you're not making, and this is so important. There is a one particular thing that is really slowing you down, and it's really kind of like a keeping you down, and that is just having an impact on you more than you could possibly imagine. It's pretty much so to do with you just absolutely 100% being yourself and trusting yourself, and that in itself is going to release the exact thing that you should be paying attention to, the exact the exact thing. So it's like a little part of you that you're like kind of keeping, not necessarily hidden, but you're kind of this little part of you, you're like kind of like a being really careful about, or being really, I wouldn't say paranoid about, but you're just taking so many other things around you into this situation, and this is all part of this aspect, you know, and this is all part of the you kind of not really letting it out completely. So it's very, very important. And this, my gorgeous Leonis, is pretty much so to do with your specific journey. It's to do with what you are focusing on right now, what your life is about right now. What would you like to be the next step? But there is something in between that it's really blocking you, because it's kind of like blocked you a little bit, and so there is a little part of you that is still kind of stuck inside, and that needs to come out so much. And I repeat, it's to do with your personal journey, where you are right now. There is still like a little part of you that you're holding inside that you need to simply let out. And as soon as you do this, something absolutely miraculous is actually going to happen. You will receive your blessing in such a way that shortly after that you will be rewarded for your own bravery in such a way that few days after that you're actually going to have the moment. Very important message is going to answer so many questions to you, but it's to do with your success, it's to do with your honor, it's to do with you feeling rather honorable, but it's to do with you feeling really great, it's to do with you feeling your achievement and looking at your life from the angle where you should look at your life from, you know. You will be able to give your credit to yourself in such a beautiful and specific way, and when you are able to love yourself, it automatically you heal your life. By loving yourself, it heals your life, and this is exactly what is actually going to happen here. Few days later, you are basically just going to not only have an important news and information, which is going to put a massive smile on your face, and it's pretty much so to do with your own success. It's like a reward. It's going to be crazy, but in a good way. But then again, this is almost immediately going to be connected to an important part of your life, and the decision that you're going to make. But this is to do with a whole new perspective coming in when it comes to the actual future planning. An important moment is going to happen, and this is also pretty much so to do with like in between now and the end of this year, really. But this is going to happen much sooner, as soon as you release that part of you that you're still it's holding you back, you see. And it really depends on your spiritual journey what exactly this is, but it's going to be miraculous later on, because it is going to put you on the path, a beautiful path when it comes to the future and the future planning, because something that you wanted to achieve and wanted to happen for a long time, it's going to beautifully slide in like a really nice and a beautiful reward. So now, my gorgeous Leonie, I'm just going to shuffle this oracle tarot card, sorry. Okay, so what is going to be a tarot card? And this is pretty much so to do in between now and the end of the year 2021. Oh my Lord, you see this? Absolutely miraculous. You are going to feel so proud of yourself, and you are going to find yourself on the path when you're going to plan a lot, when you're going to perk up a lot, when you're going to start living again, when you're going to start being excited again. I repeat that this is pretty much so to do with a very strong point and very strong perspective, my Lord, coming up when it comes to the strong focus, which is just going to become stronger and stronger and stronger by the end of the year. This is going to lead towards a very, very beautiful moment in your life of your own personal enlightenment, but at the same time it's going to lead towards you making a really beautiful, beautiful change. You may not even be aware of that change right now, but by the time you get to the actual November and December 2021, this is most certainly going to be clear, because it's going to come from you like making a rather sharp decision, but you will know that this is the right thing to do. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous and my ever so precious, my beautiful Virgo. Virgolini, where could you have a bit of a blockage? You know, this is pretty much so absolutely super important for you. My God, you just need to understand that now it's time to look at the things from a little bit different angle. Just a tiny little bit different angle is just going to reveal a massive, enormous, like giant picture that you haven't even think about before. So basically what is actually going to happen, my gorgeous Virgolini, what you need to understand is that you also need to really allow your emotions to come out of you. You need to communicate as much as you can. You need to talk as much as you can. You need to express yourself as much as you can, not only to other people, but you need to be really honest with yourself, like there is no tomorrow, my gorgeous Virgolini, because there is something is really pulling you down, something is constantly pulling you back, and you need to work on that, because this is creating a really big blockage, because you're not being honest with yourself, you're not making the necessary steps, and you're not moving on at the moment with your life towards the path that you should be moving on towards. And it's important not to ignore it, because the energy is going to be really powerful, and it's also going to give you this absolutely fantastic opportunity to actually just allow yourself to actually be yourself to yourself, you know. So there is a very, very important part of your life that really needs uncovering, and you know, it is just like something that you have been preparing yourself for a really long time, but then again it kind of got stuck in the middle. It kind of created a certain blockage, which is massive, enormous blockage. So now you will have the opportunity to do this, and what is going to happen, you will see something, my gorgeous Virgolini. You're going to come to terms with something, my gorgeous Virgolini, and that is just going to inspire you. It is going to give you an idea, like a big mama idea indeed, but this is all going to boil down towards the certain things, towards this specific moment that I'm actually talking about, which is going to open the whole new door for you. But again, you will be put back on the same point in your life, because it's all around the same thing. You know, you just need to be kind of like a really honest with yourself, because this is a big part of your life that you need to pay attention to, because it is going to need from you to make massive, enormous, giant changes. So this is important, because it is just also kind of going to literally change your life. You know, you will kind of like also at the same time, you're going to get the necessary inspiration at around that moment in time in order to make the necessary steps. This is to do with a really powerful realization that you are going to have, and that in itself is going to create the vision. And then you will know, as I said, you know, what you're going to see, it's going to inspire you. So it's all going to be about you seeing something very important, which is going to help you to connect and reconnect with the deepest parts of yourself, which is on another hand going to work like an absolute charm for you, my gorgeous Virgolini, because it's just going to really really be like a great homecoming time. And that is a very big moment in spirituality when it comes to homecoming time. You're coming home to yourself above all, but then again, very big, enormous step that you will make. It's pretty much so to do a lot with the past and the very strong elements of your past where you felt like a lots of excitement and happiness and happy time, great time. And also you will realize that it's simply down to you what you're gonna do it, how you're gonna do it, and when you're gonna do it, because this is all gonna be kind of like a you connected to you having this vivid information, vivid picture in your mind about your life, how your life could be, how your life should be, and why you're not moving on from the certain area in your life. This is important because this is creating a blockage. So all you need to do is to realize this, and this is going to refresh you like there is no tomorrow. Just remember, it's going to start with you seeing something, being part of something, and that is going to help you to reconnect and connect with yourself. And this is how everything is going to start unfolding really nicely, because it's going to inspire you like there is no tomorrow, and then it's going to be like a vivid picture that you are going to have, and that in itself, it's already going to be like halfway there when it comes to your personal manifestation. So now I'm just going to shuffle this tarot cards, my gorgeous Virgolini, and I'm going to see what is going to be a tarot card in between now and the end of this year 2021, but it's pretty much so connected to this. Yes, surprise, surprise, you see, because this is to do with your own personal justice. There is a very important moment that you are going to have in between now and the end of the year, my gorgeous Virgolini, which is just going to really bring you absolutely fantastic moment of justice. But what this means when it comes to your personal situation, you will be able to prove your point. Like you proving your point is going to be so important. But then again, it's all about proving your point to yourself first, and then to others. You know, some people are going to think, oh my God, what are they talking about? You know, but then at the same time, it's about you proving something to yourself. You having a very important confirmation, okay? And this confirmation that you are going to have in between now and the end of the year, my gorgeous Virgolini, is just going to top everything up when it comes to you moving on with your life in your own way, in your own direction, within your own realm, because it's all about following your own intuition. And your intuition is like amazing. It's like it's miraculous in so many different ways, because you're connected to the earthly energies like there is no tomorrow. So on one hand, the justice is coming, but on another hand, it's about the confirmation that you will have, and this is going to mean to you so much, and it's only going to speed things up for you as well. And also at the same time, you've got the Fool, my gorgeous Virgolini, which is all about the beginning of something very special, very amazing, very beautiful. It's to do with a little adventure, you know, that you're also going to have, and that adventure is again, everything is going to be pointing down towards a certain part of your life that you should be doing. You should be going for it. You know, most certainly you will know what this is, but then again, it's to do with the miraculous beginning, feeling re-energized, feeling really great, feeling really spontaneous, and just living your life again. This is just going to bring something very, very important into your life, my gorgeous Virgolini, indeed. Okay, so now, and before I do my gorgeous Libra, I'm just going to let Coco out, because Coco is keep on asking me to go out. Hey, say hi. Coco, say hi to Virgolini and Libra. Okay. And everybody else, of course, who's watching. Go. So he doesn't have a pee-pee in the room. Okay. So now, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Libra. My gorgeous Libra, do you know, where do you have a blockage? Do you know what you need to understand? That now you are having an absolutely marvelous, miraculous balance, an important balance, whether you realize this or not, just literally returned into your life. An important balance returned into your life. life. I'm going to repeat this again. An important balance returned into your life. The reason why I said it so many times, it's purely because it may not even feel like it. You may feel like completely tired, you may feel like completely drained, or you just may not feel right. But I'm telling you that energetically this is like a big mama time indeed, because the energy that you are having now, it's going to be so important when it comes to the blockage that you're actually having. I'm going to tell you that for once you have to trust yourself, even if people think that you're like, oh my god, what are they talking about? You have to trust your intuition. This is automatically going to enhance your third psychic eye like so much. Through our third psychic eye we understand way more than we understand the other way, of course. But what is this going to do to you? Basically it is just about the certain situation that happened to you not that long ago created a bit of like a heartbreak, created like a little bit of negativity, created like a little bit of sadness, created a little bit of uncertainty, created a little bit of confusion. I can just go on because it's just brought you down quite to the point, to the level that you don't want to be at. So this is important, and this has been like this for a while. So my gorgeous Libra, this is pretty much so to do with the negative situation that you went through, and it affected you so much. It affected your feelings, it affected your emotions, and that's why this is just so important to understand that, I know it sounds, oh God, but you need to kind of release something. You're holding like the certain grudges or the certain negativity, and these feelings and these emotions, are very strong, and at times they're just so overpowering. And at a time, we don't even realize how much energy this is actually draining from us, and what an impact and influence this actually has on us. So this is why it's important for you to realize that it's time to actually, on one hand, you are actually going to realize that you will know what this is, but you also at the same time, you just must not go around like thinking in a negative way about it, because you're just going to prolong this situation, because what you're doing right now, you're just holding your spirit down. So now within the next day when you hear this reading, if you know what this is, just try to like kind of really kind of let it go. And as soon as you do this, and by also like kind of the way to do this also is by doing things to yourself, taking care of yourself, like rewarding yourself, loving yourself. By rewarding yourself, taking care of yourself and loving yourself, you're going to increase your energy. Your energy is going to increase your vibration. This is going to help you to see things and realize things for what they are, and at the time you least expect it, you will know exactly what the situation is that you need to release and let go. I know it's easy for me to say again, but then at the same time, it's an important part of your life, because it's holding your spirit down, and this is not good, because when it's holding your spirit down, then there is like a very little chance of us kind of like expressing ourselves the way we want to express ourselves. And if we can't do that, then that has a really big impact on our lives, my gorgeous Libra. So this is why this is so important, because almost immediately it's going to bring you healing. It immediately heals your life. So this is the way to actually do it. The more you take care of yourself, the more you reward yourself, the more you kind of meditate with yourself, this is simply going to come to you. The certain situation is going to be mind-blowing, that was really driving you nuts, so fine. Now suddenly it's just going to be like, oh God, yeah, that's fine. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. And this is like the way forgiveness, and then suddenly you're going to find yourself thinking like, oh my God, I can't believe I just had like attitude about this in this particular way. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, because this is an instant healing that it's actually going to bring into your life, and this is important. And when I say that you went through something, this could be pretty much so anything, because it's to do with your specific situation, with your personal situation. So it could be to do with a certain person, it could do with a group of people, it's to do with like kind of unhappy situation. It really depends what this is, but most certainly this is something that you should pay attention to, because it created a certain blockage blockage, and now you are absolutely having a perfect balance in order to deal with this. So now I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards, my gorgeous Libra, and I'm going to see what is going to be a tarot card of the rest of the year, like in between now and the rest of the year, my gorgeous Libras. Oh my god. Okay, so oh my god, not the Tower. Okay, so there is going to be the situation that you are going to have pretty much, so I'm going to collaborate, don't worry about it. There is going to be a little situation that you are going to have that is just going to like kind of throw you out of the balance a little bit, but what you need to remember that you are going to be absolutely fine. You see, it's pretty much so to do with things that you kind of like in between now and the end of the year. I'm talking about there is going to be an important situation that is going to happen. It's going to throw you out of balance a little bit, you know, it's going to surprise you a little bit, but then this is most certainly going to be for the best, because that particular situation is also, I'm saying it's not going to surprise you completely, because it brought like a little bit of negativity and you have been thinking about it so far. So this in itself is actually going to lead to this, my gorgeous Libra. This is going to lead towards the justice. You see, this is brilliant, because now this is, you see this, it's important. So you see, this is great. Another negative situation is going to come to an end, because it's meant to come to an end, you know, because it was draining your energy, it was bringing you down, and this is nothing to do with what I was speaking at the beginning. This is something else. This is in between June and the end of the year. There is a Tower situation that you will have, but this will be important. And I will tell you that there is not only going to be like a huge light at the end of the tunnel, it's going to be giant mama light at the end of the tunnel indeed. And once this light comes up, you will be surprised with what you're actually going to see. This is important, because the situation that no longer works for you, it's going to come to an end, and you will realize a couple of days after that, oh thank God, you know, because there's certain other revelations that you're going to have that are going to confirm other things for you. This is pretty much so to do with a wonderful balance that is almost immediately going to come true, and actually things are beautifully going to work in your favor. And you can also expect an absolutely mind-blowing advice, which is going to bring you the star. It's going to bring you a miraculous opportunity. So you know what, when you have like a really like moon god, you know, Tower situation, just remember this, that this is going to bring you justice and a mind-blowing opportunity with unlimited possibilities. This is brilliant. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my mysterious Scorpio. My gorgeous Scorpione, what blockage do you need to get rid of? Oh my god, no, I'm joking. It's like, oh, it's like, no, I'm joking. Okay, what blockage do you need to kind of get rid of? This is very important, because it's pretty much so to do with a part of your life, you know, that the last 3 months in particular, something was really like, oh my god, affecting you so much. And every single time when you went to bed, or every single time when you went to relax, or every single time when you just kind of start drifting away, every time when you try to maybe even meditate, and that there are certain things that are really worrying you, you know, the certain particular thing was really worrying you, and it was draining so much of your energy, and you just kind of like really need to pay attention to this, because this affected your planning so much, like there is no tomorrow. And what this is actually, it's pretty much so to do with you having a certain confidence. There is like a very important aspect of your life that you need to step through. You need to make the necessary steps forward, you know, when it comes to the future planning, but you just simply don't have enough courage. There is a certain courage that is actually missing. So the only way to actually do this is also just to make sure that you're actually yourself. This is very important, and do not really ignore an important voice from within. An important voice from within is telling you that you should actually do something, you know, you should actually step forward, make the necessary steps in your life. But then again, at the same time, you tend to like kind of block yourself by not deciding to move forward. What you actually do is just like you start thinking about the negative negative aspects. So these are the negative aspects that are at the same time creating a barrier when it comes to in between now, present moment, and when it comes to in between, when it comes to your future. So this is very, very important. So you need to pay attention to what is really kind of on your mind, what is bringing you problems, what is worrying you for the last 3 months, but it's also having an absolutely huge, massive impact on you and on your future planning, but it's pretty much so not allowing you to move forward with your life. It's all to do with you being very open-minded, and it's all to do with you realizing and understanding that, you know, there is a very, very big step that you are going to need to make when it comes to an advancement, when it comes to an unknown area, but you must not let this scare you. And the only way to not to let this scare you is just to follow your intuition, and by following your intuition, you're not going to be led astray. You're only going to create the best thing for yourself, and if not, like a very important and a powerful spiritual shortcut. So this is pretty much so to do with you and with your future planning, but with you like being very open-minded and trusting yourself at the same time, my gorgeous Scorpione. So basically you just need to pay attention to what is really bringing you lots of worries and negativities over the last 3 months in particular, but that very same thing is blocking you and it's preventing you to move forward. And all you need to do is to make the necessary steps, and they will be much easier than you can possibly imagine. But all you need to do is just trust yourself and trust your intuition, trust your weirdness, you know. At the same time, you are gonna get like a really like a powerful sign over the next few days, my gorgeous Scorpione. You will get a very powerful sign, very strong message, you know, and you will know which aspects of your life I'm absolutely referring to, because it's creating a blockage. So now you've just find yourself in the middle, in between, but now it's time to move forward. But in order to move forward, it's down to you when you're going to realize this. And I'm telling you that you are, prior this moment, you will have a sign, you know, that you are just going to know, most simply, that you are on the right path and you are doing the right thing. So now, my gorgeous Scorpione, I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards and I'm going to see what is going to be a tarot card in between now and the end of the year 2021. So what is going to be a tarot card, my gorgeous Scorpione? Oh my Lord, you see this? Now, my gorgeous Scorpione, it means that you are going to have such a mind-blowing revelation. Somebody's mask is going to fall, and this is very important because this in itself is just kind of like a really, you see, first of all, it's going to surprise you. So somebody's mask is going to fall, my gorgeous Scorpione, in between now and the end of the year. And now, you know, this is going to surprise you a little bit. So you're going to find out something very, oh my God, about someone, something really weird. But then at the same time, it's really important to understand that this is going to be brilliant for you, because it's going to help you to make an important adjustment or readjustment in your life. So this is the sign that this is almost immediately going to like kind of, oh my God, you know, like really kind of make you feel almost like in a little heartbreaking, you know, it's just going to bring a little bit of heartbreak moment. But this is absolutely brilliant because it's going to lead towards you freeing yourself from the negativity and negative energy. So this is going to reveal the face of the person, or the, you know, it could even be the situation, it could even be the group of people that the mask is going to fall. You will see what they are, but then again it's going to, oh God, no, the certain plan is just going to be changed a little bit, and this is what's going to bring you a little bit of like a heartbreak. But it doesn't really matter, because this is exactly what it needs to happen. It's exactly what it needs to happen, because you will see things for what they are, and you need to see things for what they are, and that in itself, it's going to open the whole new portal when it comes to you just changing your life, changing one specific part of your life, just changing the way you think about a certain situation or a group of people is just going to change absolutely everything, because it's going to put you almost immediately on the path. A few days after that, there will be a very powerful realization that you are going to have, which is going to be connected to the opportunity, and that is going to bring you to such a big moment when it comes to the future and future planning. This is fantastic because it's going to be superb, because it's going to change everything. And in particular, when it comes to the actual November 2021, you are just going to have, you see, basically the moment of the realization, you know, where you're going to realize that this is most certainly like something really big is about to happen. You know, this is how you're going to feel in November, and this is going to lead towards you most certainly like expressing yourself in a very special and important way. This is with you allowing yourself to be yourself, and it's also bringing a very important part into your life that was missing, you see. So this is how this is all going to be super relevant, super significant, and it's most certainly going to change your life, because the real you is going to come out, okay? And the real you is going to point to another thing that you should be doing that it's actually missing. So this is going to work absolutely miraculously for you. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Sagittarius, my gorgeous Sagittarini. You know, you just need to understand, like, oh my God, it's like all about a certain thing, you know, you just got stuck also like in a little bit of a process, you know, my gorgeous Sagittarini. And this is important for you to understand, because it's just like you are going to have a moment, you know, and it's not going to be like that long, you know. After you hear this reading, you're going to have a moment, and it's just going to be a very powerful moment. You will see something, and what you're going to see is going to help you to connect with yourself, but also with your own spirituality. This is so important. So not that long after this reading, you will have a moment. When I have my moment. No, you're going to have a moment, and when I say that you are going to have a moment, it's like basically, as I said, you will see something, and it's just pretty much so to do with inspiration, with your own personal enlightenment, and it's going to be the whole day you're going to feel like a super wise. The whole day you're going to feel very deep. The whole day, like that moment in time, you're going to feel like that you want to express yourself in a completely different way, and also at the same time you will want to you're going to start feeling like explorative mode. You will want to explore. You're going to feel the inspiration. This is all going to be kind of a mixed up, but you will know that, you know, there is a specific sign that you are going to have on that day as well, my gorgeous Sagittarini, when you will simply know that you are on the right path. It's very important to also pay attention to number 777 and to number 333. Wherever you see these numbers, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you will know that your sign is going to be very, very soon after that. Your sign, your moment, not a sign, but the moment that you're actually going to have this wise situation. This wise situation that I'm talking about, it's going to reveal completely what you should be paying attention to, and this is strictly to do with you, it's to do with your way of thinking, it's to do with your home, it's to do with your immediate environment, it's to do with the specific changes that you should do when it comes to your own immediate environment, because it's going to be mind-blowing what just a tiny little change it's actually going to do. So this is what you need to do. You need to kind of like change things around a little bit in your immediate environment. I know it sounds bizarre, but by just moving a table a little bit, by moving a picture a little bit, this is going to have a remarkable impact on you and on your life. In fact, each time you do something like that, every single time your personal vibration is going to rise. And every single time your personal vibration rise, you know, it's just going to really kind of become more inspiring and more inspiring and more inspiring every single time. And when it comes to what it comes to you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, it's very important to understand what is creating this blockage. It's to do with your home. It's to do with your immediate environment. You need to open up. You need to talk to people. You need to connect, and you need to reconnect with with people around you. This is very important because something happened in between you and somebody else in an immediate environment, but this is very important. Something happened in between you and somebody else that you really need to kind of work on. This person is meant to be part of your spiritual journey, and also at the same time, this you're meant to kind of the fact that this person is meant to be part of your spiritual journey, it means that you are really need to kind of like work on this. This will mean a lot to both of you. So there is a very important blockage that you are having in between you and somebody else. This could be like a very kind of close family member, or it could even, if you haven't got a family, it could be maybe like the best friend, for example, or somebody who mean to you so much, but something happened in between you two and you need to work on it, because you know what, you love this person and that person loves you at the same time. It could be a family member, it could be a partner, it could be a friend, it could be anybody, but it's created a very big blockage and it's affecting you. You should give a credit to yourself, my gorgeous Sagittarini, where you should give a credit to, most certainly, but it's very important to also kind of like lay out the grudges. Is this even the word? Did you even say this? Lay out the grudges. Now you need to pay attention to the certain grudges that you might have, because these mean nothing in compare and in between the feelings and emotions. And sometimes, very often, we can kind of like also maybe offend certain people. We can say certain things that people are just find very offensive. It depends on what part of their life they are at the moment. So people could be also sensitive. So, sometimes we say things that we don't mean. So this is very important for you to pay attention to the relationships and in your life. Very important. And then so much is going to start flowing at the same time. Okay, so now, my gorgeous Sagittarini, I'm just going to shuffle this tarot cards, and I will see what is going to be a tarot card of the rest of the year, really, because this tarot card is going to reveal a big momento in between now and the end of the year 2021. And of course, my gorgeous Sagittarini, that you are going to have a very big moment. You're going to be doubting something. You're going to find yourself in a very confusing situation. But the reason why I see this, it's because it is just going to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, because there are going to be two paths ahead in between now and the end of the year. And both paths are going to be quite significant, but one is going to be really good and the other one is not going to be good. You see, the one is gonna kind of like reflect the one. There are two situations that are gonna rise up, okay, in between June and the end of the year, okay, and this is very, very important. It's going to make you confused. It's going to make you uncertain. It's going to make you like, oh my God, you want to debate with yourself. But very soon, it doesn't matter. You'll be fine, my babies. It doesn't matter, because the moon, somebody very negative, it's going to be revealed. You're going to become aware of somebody that you should be aware of. And somebody's mask is going to fall. And once you see their eyes, they're just going to be slightly different to what you would have imagined. What you'll see behind is going to be like, oh my God. But it's brilliant, because it's going to reveal somebody's real face, and it's going to motivate you when it comes to like finding a way out of the situation, adjusting your life a little bit, readjusting your life a little bit. And this is not only going to bring you a really wonderful redirection, so you're going to nicely avoid this on time, and that is going to bring a really nice redirection, not only when it comes to an important opportunity. This is going to bring you a powerful change, but at the same time, it's going to put you in touch with somebody very, very special indeed. Somebody very important who is going to enter your life. So you see, double whammy here. Important. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Capricornius. My gorgeous Capricorn, what is the blockage that you have, and what do you need to pay attention to? You see, what you need to do is, most certainly, you need to take care of yourself. You need to pay attention to yourself. You need to reward yourself, my gorgeous Capricornians, as much as you possibly can, because you know what? The problem is with this blockage that I'm seeing. Oh my God, it's such a complex situation when it comes to you. You were so selflessly giving your energy away, and you're such a powerful sign. You know, you're very deep. I get you like so much completely. You're very deep. You're very powerful. Very often you're not aware of your own power, but very often you're not aware of your own goodness. Very often you're not aware of your wonderful and powerful energy, you know. And I'm trying to say that you gave away, yes, you gave away so much. And you selflessly, you were working on other people, on somebody very significant, you know, somebody who's so important to you in your life, and it took so much of your energy. Bless your heart. And that in itself just threw you out of balance. This is to do with somebody very important in your life, like your child, your family member, your son, your daughter, your sister, your brother, your best friend. It could be your mom, dad, you know, if they're alive. It could be absolutely anyone, but it's a wonderful thing. And you know, you are going to have a really special reward. You are about to have a special reward, and this is important for you to understand. But first of all, you need to think about the balance, and you need to think about the blockage, because you took on lots of you took on lots of negativity on yourself, and you just ended up with a little bit of excess, like a lower energy that you need to pay attention to right now. Bless your heart. You know what? Don't worry, because this is about to change, and it's about to have a really wonderful flip-flop spiritual moment, which means in order to get this and how to pay attention to this spiritual blockage is to take care of yourself, reward yourself. Try to, I said this before, but I will say this as many times as I need, because it's important, because by taking care of yourself, by loving yourself, you also heal yourself at the same time. It heals your life, literally. And now, especially after giving so much energy away, so you feel like a little bit worn out. You may not be aware of it, but you just need to re-energize yourself. And in order to re-energize yourself, is just take care of yourself by rewarding yourself, by maybe spending, I said this before, I know, spending time in the nature, by trying to meditate, trying to ground yourself, touch the ground, baby, you know, try to get certain things to yourself, like that makes you feel happy. Get like a nice little figurine or something, you know, buy things that make you feel good. The more you do this at this moment in time, as soon as you hear this reading, you know, something is gonna come to you, something really incredible is gonna come to you, an important idea. So this is what you need to do with this blockage that was created because you took on so much of the negative energy, not necessarily from that particular person, but from the situation that they were going through. It was something very scary. I don't know if you're even aware of, but it was very dark and very scary. The energy is very, very low, and it drained that other person so much as well. But then again, you picked up quite a lot on it. So the more you reward yourself right now, the more you're gonna perk up. And it's not only about that. Yes, this is creating a blockage, yeah, of course, but it's not only about that, but it's about the actual karmic reward that you're going to have, because something is gonna come to you. And before this idea, something comes to you, it's going to be amazing. Your eyes are going to be open, my Lord. By the same time, the sign, you will know before that happens, because you will come across an important sign which will be very, very unusual, very strange and very bizarre. But most certainly you will know that there is some kind of idea that you are going to have. And this is not just any idea. This is an important part of your spiritual journey, an integral part of your spiritual journey. It's about to come up as a reward, okay? And this is like not gonna happen. This is all gonna happen pretty quickly and pretty soon, but most certainly it's gonna be very significant in between now and the end of the year 2021, where you're also going to learn that with certain things in your life, you just have to be a little bit quiet. You just need to play smart. You need to be clever. What you know, and this is important. Okay, so now I'm just going to shuffle this tarot cards, my gorgeous Capricornians, and I'm going to see. Okay. Here. Sorry, my gorgeous Capricornians. Dun, 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 dun. My gorgeous Capricornians. I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards, and I'm going to see what is going to be a tarot card in between now and the end of the year. That is going to be really important. Look at this. This is the card that is going to be important in between now and the end of the year 2021. You see, you know, you will have such a big mama moment. You're going to have a big mama moment. Like, one day, something is going to be really different, you know? And that day, when something is going to be different, I'm talking about the connection. You're going to have a very powerful connection with your childhood. And not childhood necessarily, but the certain things from the past. Certain things, and it's going to be very strong. You're going to have a vision. It's going to be very vivid. The colors are going to be very vivid, you know, and that vision is going to reveal something to you. You know, you've got 7 of Cups now. You know, that vision is going to reveal something to you, and it's going to put you in the mood to like kind of into this energy to understand things from a slightly different angle, because the colors are going to be very vivid, and this is going to be something that you're going to be paying attention to. And it's pretty much so going to remind you of the certain part of your life, certain aspect that you should be paying attention to, and it's to do with the past, and it's also to do with the greatest moment of the spiritual enlightenment you're going to have in between now and the end of the year. You know that this is actually going to bring, you're going to feel very strongly about bringing again something into your life from your past, you know, and you will know exactly what this is, and now it's time. It was meant to be spiritually and energetically for you to kind of like avoid and leave the certain part of yourself in your past, and now you will know it's time to reconnect with this. This is a very strong part of you, very strong element that is going to bring you an enlightenment and happiness. It's just going to remind you of what our life used to be like for you, but at the same time it's going to remind you exactly what you need to do. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Aquarius, my beautiful aquamarine. You know what? It's pretty much so to do with the actual blockage and the negativity that you need to pay attention to. What is blocking you down? What you need to pay attention to that you may not be aware of, you know, as such. You know, sometimes certain things are sticking out around us. We can feel things, you know, but then again there is just so much going on that it's very difficult to differentiate, you know, whether what exactly is kind of like a draining the energy as such. But it's pretty much so to do with your own like kind of emotions, and when it comes to your life, you know, you need to make a very, very important specific change. You know, I'm sorry, but it's pretty much so to do with your own emotions, and it's to do with your own relationships. You know, this is creating a big mama problem when it comes to your own relationships. You need to make sure that people who love you and people who you love, you know exactly how they know exactly how you feel, you know, and just express your emotions, express so much. But also at the same time, when it comes to your relationship, something is not just right with the one particular person. I'm sorry, but something is just not right, and it just doesn't make sense here to me. And it doesn't make sense because, you know, maybe from your side I'm seeing like emotions, I'm seeing deepness, I'm seeing this beauty, I'm seeing this power, I'm seeing this excitement. But from the other side, when it comes to that other person that I'm finding like a problem here, at the same time, you know, there is just something not quite right, because I'm not seeing the same level of emotion. So this is something that you need to work on, what this is and who this is. This could be like your partner, it could be somebody like who is important to you, you know, but most certainly you need to work on this, because this is creating a very, very heavy negative energy blockage right now, and it's affecting you in so many different ways. And as soon as you realize this, my gorgeous aquamarine, the better it's actually going to be. Okay, this is a very, very kind of like important for a situation for you to kind of realize, my gorgeous aquamarine. And also, oh my god, the blockage, the energy blockage, you better listen to me now. It's you can take me seriously, you don't have to, this is entirely up to you, but it's just to do I know you're gonna like slap me through the screen now, but it's just like the addictions. There is something that it's not quite right here, my babies, and you're gonna be absolutely fine. Just remember that the energy is going to be fine, the energy is going to be okay, and even if it doesn't seem okay, even if it doesn't seem fine, even if you feel like really lower down, which you're not, it's going to be fine, because things are going to pick up for you from now on nicely, because I can see you focusing on work, career, and things like that that are bringing you excitement when it comes to the actual next step. But what I need you to understand is that there is a certain addiction that is creating like a big mama blockage, like a huge blockage here. What this is, you will know. What do you need to cut out of your life? You will know, whether this is too much, maybe, I don't know, drink, I don't know, smoky, I don't know, other things, God forbidden, God forbidden, like just basically try to pay attention to what this is. Maybe you just like kind of like taking even too much sugar, and then you cut sugar out of your diet completely, because sugar is like really bad for people. People don't understand sugar is like worse than that stuff that goes up your nose, that sugar is really bad for people, like really bad. So maybe it's sugar. If it's sugar, then you can just like use organic maple syrup, cut out the bastard sugar, and use the organic maple syrup. I've done this ages ago and I've never looked back. I don't want sugar, I'm just taking this as an example. So you need to pay attention to what this addiction is, because this is really kind of throwing you out of balance now, and now it's time to do it, because it's June, the time is absolutely perfect, and it's going to help you so much with the rest of the year. So now I'm just going to shuffle these cards, my gorgeous Aquamarini, and I'm going to shuffle these cards, my gorgeous Aquamarini, and I'm going to see what is going to be your tarot card in between now and the end of the year 2021. You see, this is, absolutely fantastic. In between now and the end of the year 2021, your personal life is just going to change like there is no tomorrow, but in the best possible way. If you were unhappy, you are going to be happy. So this is something that I really need you to understand, because in between now and the end of the year, there are going to be some kind of little changes that you will go through, but they will be much bigger than you can possibly imagine. And these changes are going to start happening at the moment in time when you find yourself being really busy, because you're going to be a little bit thrown out of balance when it comes to your own business. And this is the time as well when you need to know that you're going to be rather sharp. I'm not saying that you're not sharp normally, but I'm just saying that it's going to be the time when you're going to be full of ideas. By the same time, this is going to reflect on your relationship, and you will know you're going to have such a big moment, because somebody is about to enter your life, somebody rather important and rather significant. Okay? And also on another hand, if you are not kind of getting on with a certain person and you want to have reconciliation, perhaps this is going to be the time when you two are going to have an important talk, chat, reconciliation. Otherwise, for those of you who maybe like kind of drift apart, maybe someone else is going to come through and come forward. But on another hand, it is just basically, the bottom line is that it is just pretty much so a lot about feelings, a lot about emotions, a lot about your own happiness. You're not complete right now, but in between now and the end of the year 2021, you are going to be complete, because of somebody very, very special who is about to enter your life. Okay? And to some of you, this is going to be somebody who enters your life like straight away for the first time. But to some of you, maybe if you really want to work with somebody special, you've just met someone, it's all about that particular person. It really depends. But one particular person is going to actually change your life. And also, you are going to make a very, very smart move in between now and the end of the year 2021. You should just listen to your intuition, because you're going to need to decide something so important. It's going to need to come from you. You're going to be like, oh my God, it's going to need to come from you. A very important decision. And you're going to be so wise, because that particular decision is going to change your life. By the same time, you need to understand that this is to do with you. It's to do with your passion, is to do with your power, and making the step, towards the right direction. Okay, so now The next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Pisces. My gorgeous Piscelini, of course, this is the reading about the energy blockages that you may have, you know, the energy blockages that you have, but that you may not be aware of, you know, something that is there is like kind of sticking out, but it's not probably as obvious because there is just kind of a lot going on that is draining your energy, in particular, my gorgeous Pisces. So this is why this reading is so important, because on another hand, we are now in June, so we are slowly entering the second part of the year. So now things are going to start kind of like moving on really nicely, quickly, much quicker. But also the June, what the month of June is going to do, my babies, is going to give you an opportunity to work on something very specific and very special, because when it comes to the actual achievements, when it comes to the healing, you know, you are going to find this like super beneficial. And that's why, like, even if you're wounded a little bit, you're going to heal like this. So it doesn't really matter. This is the power of June, and this is why I'm saying this. But also more to say that it's going to be quite significant this time, and this reading also when it comes to in between now and the end of the year. It's not only about the June, but the June has got the actual ability and possibility. June and July, really, June and July pretty much strong. The July is also very powerful, have got the ability to actually make us heal quicker, you know, work on our problems much quicker. I'm not saying that you're not going to be able to do it throughout the year, but I'm just saying that June and July specifically are going to be very important when it comes to us having an extended power in order to make decisions much quicker, spontaneously. So this is very important. So now, my gorgeous Piscelini, I'm just going to see what is actually creating an energy blockage when it comes to you. You really need to understand now it's time to really take care of yourself. I think that you have been worrying a lot. I think that you have been down a lot. I think you have been kind of like a little bit negative as well. You know, there's so many different aspects of your life that were affected, you know, lately, and it's just made you feel like a little bit uncertain. You must not let that energy to take the best of you. You must not let that energy to kind of drain your energy to the point where you just get completely stuck. So this is very, very important. What you need to do, my gorgeous Piscelini, right now is just basically you also need to kind of reward yourself, and also like a kind of like a you need to understand that there is a very important conclusion that you are going to have. This conclusion that you are about to have, it's also going to be fantastic, because it's going to inspire you at the same time. But nothing is going to work for you as long as you kind of like are not taking care of you. If you're not taking care of yourself, and I'm not saying that you're not taking care of yourself, but this is the time, June is the time to reward yourself. June is the time to think about yourself. And June and July are both like a month for you specifically to think about yourself, to keep on rewarding yourself, to kind of like reconnect and connect with the actual nature as much as you can, because that way you're going to find out so much. You know, you will heal yourself, you will heal your life, and once you do that, you know, that is going to be a really massive giant step forward. You kind of got stuck in the moment, so you just have to let it go. There is something happened to you not that long ago, my gorgeous Piscelini, and it affected you so much, and you really need to let it go. You need to let it go. I know it's easy for me to say. So you were affected by something, you know, so much, so badly, and you just need to let it go. And I know it's easy for me to say, oh yeah, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. No, you need to let it go. The way you're gonna let it go is a simple little trick, spiritual trick. This is why I say to take care of yourself, to reward yourself, to get something for yourself, to buy something for yourself, to reward yourself, to take care of yourself. This is very important. So it's whether you're going to buy something, whether you're going to change your immediate environment, whether you're going to connect and reconnect with the nature, it doesn't really matter. But when you start the process of rewarding, then you're going to rise your personal energy. This is going to increase your personal vibration vibration, and your personal vibration, it's almost immediately going to inspire you to the point where you're going to be connected to the next step. Something is going to become absolutely superbly like obvious to you that hasn't been obvious before. And this is purely because you will allow yourself to actually complete this circle, to complete this journey, and that is immediately going to bring you a karmic reward, which is going to start changing so much in your life. But specifically, you are going to change your mind so much about a certain part, certain area of your life, and you will realize that slowly came to an end. So this is what I'm talking about, my gorgeous Piscelini. You need to understand and realize that something affected you so badly. This could have been over the last couple of years, really, over the last year, but now it's time to actually, now you have a very great big opportunity to realize what this is. So you need to let it go, but also you need to trust yourself, you need to trust your intuition, you need to open up, you need to communicate, you need to throw yourself into all sorts of opportunities, you need to throw yourself into all sorts of possibilities. And don't worry, just follow your own intuition, because something made you so worried to the point that drained so much energy out of you, and this in itself is going to give you a chance to make an important adjustment and find yourself on a very inspiring path. I hope I was clear, my gorgeous Piscelini. So it's pretty much so to do with some kind of situation that you went through, and it scared you so much. It scared you and it affected you. It affected you big time, and now it's time to just trust yourself. Trust yourself and just trust your intuition. You have to live your life and understand, if you don't jump in the water, you're never going to learn how to swim. I told you before, you're Piscelini, you know how to swim. Once you go down, you go and swim. You know, it's important, you know, to see how much something affected you, because it just kind of blocked you and it's holding you down. And you're going to realize by rewarding yourself, by meditating, by buying something to yourself, you're increasing your situation, you're increasing your energy, increasing your vibration. That opens your eyes, but it's at the same time, I know it sounds weird, but it's at the same time, it helps you to realize things that you'd not realize, and it gives you the power and confidence and self-esteem to see the situation for what it is, but also most importantly to realize that your life is your life, your path is your life, your spiritual journey is your spiritual journey. If you don't make a necessary change, nobody else is going to do it for you, but you know what to do. Okay, so this is really important. And also, it's not only about this is actually going to, a few days later, this is actually going to lead towards an important moment when it comes to your future. You're going to kind of feel a very strong sense of direction, and this is all going to have such a beautiful and rebirth feeling when it comes to you. It's about to bring you a whole new perspective. Okay, the whole new focus, the whole new unfoldment. This is very, very important spiritual lotus moment that you are going to have, and you will be able to make a very important plan when it comes to the future. Something that is going to inspire you like there is no tomorrow. So now, my gorgeous Piscelini, I'm just going to shuffle these tarot cards, and I'm going to see what is going to be a tarot card in between now and the end of the year 2021. So this is not only the tarot card for now, but it's in between now and the end of the year 2021. You see, absolutely fantastic. You are going to find yourself on an absolutely remarkable path, and I really like it, because, you know, basically what is going to happen, you are going to be kind of like inspired by the right person, and that person is going to have a huge impact on your life. That person is going to open your eyes in between now and the end of the year 2021, and most importantly, you're going to feel something that you didn't feel in a long time, you know, when it comes to like having a very vibrant moment, and that vibrant moment is going to create a moment of the actual vision, and something is going to come to you, and this in itself is going to be remarkable, because it's just going to put you in a certain certain path when it comes to you finding yourself being happy, busy, and discovering very, very important things about yourself, you know. And this is pretty much so not only going to affect your life, but it's going to affect people around you. It's going to put you out there again, you know. It's going to require from you to communicate, to like kind of throw yourself in all sorts of situations, but it most certainly looks like very strongly that your life is going to start flowing like very, very importantly, very strongly. I feel a huge massive change at around September 2021. By the time you get to the actual December 2021, you are going to have the opportunity of your lifetime. And if you think right now what this opportunity is, you would never guess it. And this is why this is going to be so miraculous. It's like your blessing is coming, and once it comes, it's going to change your life. Pay attention to September. Remarkable. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. Okay, I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. My gorgeous people, I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye. Mwah.